All right, let's talk about When I'm With You by Lisa and Tyla, because this track, it's a vibe. On the surface, it's slick, sexy, and full of swagger, but if you dig deeper, there's so much more going on. We're talking about obsession, power plays, and that feeling of losing control when someone just gets under your skin. Lisa brings her signature confidence, Tyla's vocals dripped with desire, and together they create a song that's equal parts addictive and chaotic. So let's dive in and figure out why this collab hits different. The intro sets the tone for the whole song, diving into the idea of losing control when you're deeply infatuated with someone. Tyler sings, "All my pride goes out the window," which basically means that when she's with this person, she doesn't care about guarding her ego or playing it cool. She's completely vulnerable. The line, "and never with you," suggests that this kind of surrender only happens with this specific person, highlighting how unique and intense their connection is. Then she adds, "I can't change you," which could mean a couple of things. Maybe she's accepted that this person is who they are, flaws and all, and she's not trying to fix them. Or it could hint at frustration, like she wishes she could change them but knows she can't. Either way, it adds a layer of raw honesty to the song, showing that love isn't always about perfection, but about embracing someone as they are, even if it's messy. Verse 1 dives into the tension between outside opinions and personal desire. Lisa and Tyla sing about how their friends are warning them to take it slow and stay composed, but they're not listening because they know something their friends don't. There's this sense of rebellion, like, yeah, people might think they're making a mistake, but they don't care because the pull of this relationship is too strong. The line, "told me I should leave you alone, told me stay your at home," makes it clear that their girls are really against this romance, maybe because they see it as reckless or toxic. But Lisa and Tyler brush it off with, "but I don't mind," showing they're fully aware of the risks and just don't care. Then things get even more interesting with the line, "could have been a good girl, but I won't be." This plays into the idea of deliberately choosing to be bad, not in a negative way, but in a freeing way. They're rejecting the expectation to be cautious or reserved and instead leaning into passion. The next lines, "I'm a turn one night to a whole week," and "look at me now, I'm inside out, so wild," paint a picture of losing control in the best way. It's like they're saying, "I was supposed to keep this casual, but now I'm all in, and I love it." The most telling part is when they say, "I'ma let you control me." Normally, that might sound like a red flag, but in this context, it feels more like surrender to desire, not a weak way, but in an "I trust you enough to let go" way. And when they add, "give it to me good, like you own me," it's not about literal ownership, but about intensity and passion. The verse ends by circling back to the intro's theme, "all my pride goes out the window," reinforcing that this person makes them forget about ego, image, or what anyone else thinks. It's a full embrace of reckless, all consuming love, and they're not apologizing for it. The chorus is where the song's central theme really hits home. It's all about how this person completely takes over Lisa and Tyler's mind and body when they're together. The repetition of "when I'm with you" acts like a mantra, hammering in the idea that nothing else matters in those moments. It's hypnotic, almost like they're in a trance, And that's exactly the point. They're so consumed by this connection that everything else fades away. Then comes the key line. Oh yeah, just look how you got me out of my body. This is where things get really interesting. Being out of my body suggests an out of control, almost euphoric feeling, like they're so lost in passion or desire that they're not even thinking straight. It's that dizzy, can't help myself kind of love, where logic goes out the window and pure feeling takes over. Later, when Lisa jumps in with, I need you now, 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 it adds urgency, like she's caught in a cycle of craving, unable to resist even if she wanted to. The chopped up, stuttering delivery of now mimics the way desire can feel frantic and all consuming. It's not just a want, it's a need, and that distinction makes the chorus feel raw and desperate in a way that's super relatable. Overall, the chorus captures the high of being with someone who makes you feel wild, free, and a little out of control. It's not about forever or stability. It's about that electric, lose yourself moment where nothing exists except you and them. And whether that's healthy or dangerous, well, that's part of the thrill. Verse 2 is where Lisa fully steps into her power, blending confidence and seduction in a way that flips the script from verse 1. If the first verse was about surrendering control, this one is about owning her allure and the effect she has on this person and everyone else. She starts off calling herself a certified winner, and the Michelin stars how I like my dinner line is a slick way of saying she's used to the finest things, whether that's luxury, success, or lovers. It sets the tone. She's not just some naive girl pining for attention. She's the prize, and she knows it. The next lines said you want to stick around, go figure. Everybody does. I'm what everybody wants. Drive this home. There's a playful arrogance here, like she's shrugging and saying, yeah, of course, you're obsessed with me. Everyone is. She leans into her star power with, I'm on everybody's screen, and I make everybody scream, which could be about her fame, but also hints at how magnetic she is in this relationship. The way she says, tell me this ain't the baddest back to back you ever seen, feels like a challenge. She's daring this person to deny how unstoppable they are together. But then the vibe shifts slightly when she says, I can put you on the map and she can take you overseas. This could mean a few things. Maybe she's talking about her global influence, or maybe it's a nod to how being with her opens doors. Either way, it adds a layer of ambition to the romance. It's not just passion, there's strategy here too. Yet, despite all this power play, she still melts when it comes to this person. Lines like, good girl, I'll dare, but I'm bad for you. And, like it when you tell me, break the rules. Bring back that theme of losing control, but this time it's on her terms. She's not a victim of desire. She's choosing it, reveling in it. The verse ends with, I'm way better, which feels like a mic drop. It's not just about being good together. It's about how this relationship, or maybe just her in this dynamic, elevates everything. The confidence in this verse balances out the vulnerability of the rest of the song, showing that even when she's caught up in passion, she's still in charge of her own story. It's a reminder that losing yourself in someone doesn't have to mean losing your power. Sometimes it's the opposite. The outro feels like the emotional hangover after the high of the chorus and verses. It's that moment when the intensity of the relationship leaves both people a little dazed, questioning their own sanity. Lisa and Tyla trade lines like, I must be out of my mind, and you must be out of your mind, which creates this cool back and forth tension. It's like they're both admitting how irrational their connection is, but instead of backing away, they're almost laughing about it. There's a sense of self awareness here. They know this thing between them isn't exactly logical, but that's part of what makes it thrilling. The repetition of "can't tell me nothing about mine" is especially interesting because it feels defiant. It's like they're shutting down anyone who might judge their choices, friends, society, even their own doubts. That word mine is key here. It's possessive in a way that's both protective and a little obsessive. They're claiming this relationship, flaws and all, and daring anyone to question it. What's really clever is how the outro mirrors the intro, but with more intensity. Where the intro was soft and confessional, all my pride goes out the window, the outro is louder, messier, and more unapologetic. It's like the song starts with a whisper of surrender and ends with a shout of ownership. Even though they're calling themselves out of mind, it doesn't sound like regret. It sounds like liberation. They're fully embracing the chaos of love or lust, and that's the whole point of the song. Sometimes the best connections are the ones that don't make sense, and this outro captures that perfectly. It's not a resolution, it's a celebration of the madness.